What if Deku joined Team JPDE? Chapter 42. Boots on the ground. Bella was currently sitting in the safe house. There were then several short quick knocks on the front door. "Huh? Who is?" Bella said. "You shouldn't leave the door open," Bella Penny said. I mean, David. What are you? I'm happy to see you. Gosh, I must be a mess," Bella said. "Hi, Bella," David said. "Huh? What's wrong?" Bella asked. "We need to speak to Andrea." "Is he living with you?" Penny asked. Don't remind me." "But why do you need to talk to him?" Bella asked. "Because Evelyn, of course." Evelyn. "Seems like that's everything anyone's talking about recently," Andrea said. "The hell? What's this about boobs?" Bella asked. "I'm going to ask only once." "What's happening to Evelyn?" David asked. "Don't know, don't care." "Bob does, though," Andrea said. "Bob?" Bella asked. "Who's Bob?" Penny asked. "My grim pal, of course," Andrea said. "You call it Bob?" Bella asked. "I want to talk to him," then David said. "He doesn't do a lot of talking. I can translate for him, though. You know, this sounds like a fun conversation to have, on second thought." "Go make us some tea, firecracker," Andrea said. "Who the hell do you think you're?" Bella said. "Fine. Let's have some tea. As long as you talk," David said. Do you prefer green tea or black tea, David?" Bella asked. The four were now out on the balcony. "So, how much do you know about our family?" Andrea asked. "We know that there's only the two of you left after Bob swung by," David said. "That's the gist of it, yes," Andrea laughed. "We also know that Evelyn's aura was spliced during the process. Modified, which is the reason for her color blindness and her semblance," Penny said. "Yup. What she doesn't know, though, it's that the semblance she has, and by reflection mine, isn't something that just happened to be born out of her tortured aura structure at random," Andrea said. "Wait. You mean that Bob was purposely trying to make this particular semblance manifest in you?" Penny asked. "You got it. He's had a few centuries of practice, but it's not an exact science. That's why he always goes through a few botched tries and prefers to lose his current body among groups of people," Andrea said. "But why such a specific semblance?" Penny asked. "To survive," David said. "Bingo," Andrea said. "Oh. Of course," Penny said. "Jack said something similar to me. From a purely survivalist point of view, Evelyn's is the perfect semblance. Always being able to see the outcome of your actions," David said. "For an existence whose only purpose in life is to continue seeing the light of day, there's nothing better," Andrea said. "Okay. So?" David asked. "So? There's the problem that this semblance was still forced in, and our color blindness is a result of that discrepancy. It's like trying to replace a bone when the original one is still there. Now, as you remember, semblances only grow more powerful with time and usage," Andrea said. "Evelyn pushed herself to her limits to save Janara," David said. Bella said. "Her semblance must have reached a new level. And oh no," Penny said. "If just having it caused us to go colorblind, I can only imagine what this new level must have done to her." "Did she go mad, maybe?" Andrea asked. "She boobs?" Bella asked. "You snake. You know exactly what's happening, don't you?" David asked. I do. I reached that level a long time ago, Blondie. I still remember the instincts that surged through me at that moment," Andrea laughed. "How did you survive?" David asked. "Oh, I cheated. Remember that I eat for two. While the semblance is a foreign presence for me, it fits into Bob like a puzzle piece. Eve doesn't have that cheat. So she's left alone to try and stomach the effects," Andrea said. Penny, David said. He doesn't appear to be lying, Penny said. Damn it. Damn it all, David said, leaving the safe house. Thank you for your time, Penny said, following after David. Oh, wow, didn't even touch the tea. So rude, Andrea said. Up in Ozpin's office. So you're going to allow this? Ozpin asked. Allow? They have my full support. The problem was caused by one of their own, so their support is a welcome gesture of responsibility. And so is that of the other orphans at the school, as per the rules, Ironwood said. Orphans may be recalled and activated to answer distress calls of other orphans, I remember. We made those rules together, Ozpin said. Good. Then, you got any other recommendations that I may ignore? Ironwood asked. This will upset the balance of the region in ways that we cannot foresee. Before going in guns blazing, we should make sure there's at least someone to save, Ozpin said. And the more we hesitate, the less chances there are of finding anyone alive at all. I guess to someone who only sees in the long term it would be a suffered but necessary trade-off. But normal people don't have all the time in the world, Ozpin. We don't have reset buttons, and each action not taken is something we could have prevented, a life we could have saved, Ironwood said. Or a mistake that could have been avoided, Ozpin said. Indeed. I guess we will need to learn to live with them. You certainly never did, Ironwood said. David and Penny were currently in the gardens. David, we should go back to the airship. They need our presence there to discuss the plan for tomorrow. Have you sufficiently calmed down? Penny asked. Yes. Yes, I'm calm. But I'm still so worried. Even if we find Evelyn, how are we going to be able to help her? She's alone. We can't help her fight this battle, David said. No, we can't. But you can, David, Penny said. What? David said. I spoke with my father while you recovered. The specifics of what may be happening to her are a complete mystery, sadly. But he's sure of two things. 1. Evelyn needs to suppress the foreign body in her aura structure before the symptoms get too severe. 2. The more aura she has, the better, Penny said. You mean? David said. She needs aura to destroy the semblance. And she needs aura to heal the damage done to her body, aura structure and mind. Evelyn, Izuku, Professor Peach, Titania, the pilot. They need our help. But Evelyn. More than anything else, Evelyn needs you, David, Penny said. Penny, let's go, David said. Yes, Penny said. On the other side of the garden. How does this keep happening? I just wanted to ask why we hadn't seen Evelyn and Izuku in class for the past 3 days. Still, Ruby said. In the lab ship. The floor is yours, young lady, Ironwood said. Are you sure, General Ironwood? Jack asked. It is your plan. There's still no one more suited to explaining than you, Ironwood said. Thank you. Before we begin, I'd like to express my thanks to the orphans who are here. Even just having one of you come in time would have been lucky, but to think 3 of you were here as transfer students, Jack said. I guess the gods favor us, today, Enrico said. I also extend my personal thanks for your presence, Ironwood said. A rescue mission is not something that can be refused without guilt, Arslan said. I'm always up to kick some major butt. And I have never been on an Atlas airship before. And what better way to repay Izuku for what he's done for me? And Arslan Reese said. You promised us a plan of action. Let's hear it, May said. Of course. Let me lay down the situation, first. This morning, a transport belonging to the Atlas Army crashed in the forest of Barito. The occupants were Professor Peach from Beacon, her daughter Titania, my teammates Evelyn Damarot and Izuku Midoriya, and the pilot, Cole Schwartz. We've received a last transmission before the crash, which allows us to pinpoint with accuracy the area where the aircraft dropped, but any survivors are sure to have moved to a safer area. Barito is chock full of grim, Our objectives are simple, locate the survivors and extract them successfully, Jack said. With just one airship and 6 people, May asked. 7. Seal Soleil of the Atolsian army is going to join us on the ground. And having a bigger contingent would actually be counterproductive. You see, the Barito forest is home to a rare gargantuan grim. A Gumra, nicknamed the mountain in hunter circles. Its size and durability are incredible, but most dangerous of all is its ability to influence smaller grim in a large area, which extends to the forest itself. Any direct attack on the Gumra is sure to bring the entire forest's attention down on us, Jack said. I see, May said. Oh man, that sounds cool, Reese said. You do realize that's where we're going to be? Reese Arslan asked. So? Being dangerous doesn't make it not cool, Reese said. Yes. We're going to be split into 3 teams, each one with a different role. David and Penny will be the rescue team. Their job will be to locate and rescue everyone. Me, Arslan and Reese will be assault team. We're going to create a diversion and make so that the rescue team can move safely. And finally, Seal and May will be the sniping team. You're going to support both the assault and rescue teams and take care of any flyers before they can join the fight, Jack said. I suppose you prepared some suitable equipment for this, May said. The best available to the Atlas army. And a little more, courtesy of my labs, Enrico said. I have made further, specific planning for each of the teams, based on your individual abilities, but one thing that everyone must keep in mind that we are one. Several time limits. We don't know how long our sniping supplies will last. We don't know how long the assault team will resist the onslaught. We don't know how long it'll take to locate the 5 of them. Or if they can even be found, still. It's imperative we keep in touch over communications at all times. Everything needs to be reported. The moment all 4 are located or anything at all goes awry, we're pulling out. It's a rescue mission. So let's not become in need of rescue ourselves. The most important thing is that we all come back alive. Any questions, so far, Jack asked. No one had anything to ask. All right. Then let's go over the plans for each team. I'd like if teammates familiarized between themselves as much as possible before tomorrow, too, Jack said. Everyone then split into their teams. So you've never actually created this kind of defensive perimeter before, May said. I've never been assigned to spotting and guard duty for a sniper, no. But I can assure 100% efficiency, Seal said. A lofty claim. Said with confidence. Let's hope it's not fueled by arrogance, May said. That sounds completely crazy, Reese said. I know. But it will work. Just keep me out of harm's way for the time I need, Jack said. If you have that kind of control on your semblance, we'll deal at most with stragglers, Arslan said. Not me. I'm going to be in the thick of it, baby, Reese said. Reese, can you please be something other than excited for this, Arslan asked. Nah, Reese said. Arslan sighed then smiled. You'll never change, will you, Arslan said. Nope, Reese said. You seem pleased, James, Enrico said. It's not often that I see someone so young with such a keen tactical mind. Eagerness of action is to be expected in people so young. But more often than not, they aren't this well guided. And considering that she has been under his direct control for years, now. Ozpin's restriction on action is, once again, due to his almost maniacal struggle to control everything around him, Ironwood said. That's very true. But I have also seen the same tactical mind in Izuku Midoriya, Enrico said. Ironwood said. I suggest you open a channel with Mr. Midoriya once this is over, Enrico said. You sound very sure that he's alive, Ironwood said. Considering what I know, I have good reason to be. And you should too, considering what Ozpin told you, Enrico said. I suppose so. I hope we'll be able to talk on friendly grounds, Ironwood said. If you haven't told anyone else, then you're already starting on good ground. And you may learn even more than Ozpin, Enrico said. Hey, of course there's more to that, boy, Ironwood chuckled. Papa. Mr. Ironwood. Have you seen David? He left the room a few minutes ago and now I can't find him, Penny said. Actually, yes. He walked by us and went into the infirmary. I'm sure you'll find him in there, Enrico said. Thanks, Papa. General Penny said. Penny, Ironwood said. Penny then headed to the infirmary. So, if Headmaster Ozpin has a struggle to control everything around him, what does that make you, James? Enrico asked. Enrico, Ironwood said. I understand your wariness about sensophili, James. Believe me, I do. But this situation is ideal for Penny and Seal to use their semblances. If not on a rescue mission, when is the right time to do so? Enrico asked. Unlike Ozpin, I don't fear the unknown, but I'm wary of what I know. I will authorize them to use their semblances only if things start going horribly wrong. There's no secret in this world that's worth a single human life, Ironwood said. And that's why people follow you, James, Enrico said. HMPH. I thought it was because of my dashing looks, Ironwood said. Penny then entered the infirmary. David, Penny said. He's further inside, Penny, Amber said. Amber. We haven't seen you in a few days, Penny said. Sorry for the absence. I was resting, Amber said. I didn't think you needed to rest, Penny said. I don't sleep, if that's what you're asking, Amber said. Neither do I, Penny said. Oh. Then maybe we could keep each other company. Anyway, what I meant is that appearing to people other than magical users and David and Ijuku costs me magic power. I figured we'd need as much of it as possible, Amber said. So magic doesn't have a cap like Aura, Penny asked. Not exactly. But anyway, I'll see you tomorrow. I suspect Jack will have David tell me of my role in this battle, Amber said. Amber the disappeared. David, Penny said. I'm inside, Penny, David said. Are you still overtly emotional, Penny asked. Not really, no, I was trying to do some reconnaissance ahead of time, actually, David said. You were? How, Penny asked. Jack put us together because she obviously wants us to do what we did in Peak. Combine our skills to locate someone I have an aura connection to, David said. True. Wait, you mean you were trying to locate Evelyn, Ijuku and Titania from this far, Penny asked. Well, we've never really tested the limits of it before, haven't we? It was worth a shot. And I actually think it's working, but David said. You can't pinpoint the actual distance, Penny asked. Yes. Also, I can't distinguish between auras. Like, as far as my body knows, they are all pieces of me, so all I'm feeling is, there's multiple pieces of me in that general direction, David said. Oh, I see. I don't have enough data to formulate a suggestion. So, in order. What does it feel like, Penny asked. Like warmth. Like I'm feeling the heat of bonfires, David said. All right. Now, why don't you try and find some difference between them? Close your eyes and focus, Penny said. David did so. That's me. I feel myself at the center and this is close. This is no doubt you, Penny, David said. All right. So, how am I different from you, Penny asked. You are. Oh, David said. What is it, Penny asked. It's like your warmth is different. You're still warm and you burn strongly, but it's like the flame is much more cheerful than mine, David said. You, Penny said. And if I expand further? Yes, that's. This flame is strong, but it's not as warm as you are. Because of the distance, I guess, David said. It must be Jack, Penny said. Yes, and It's so heavy, David said. It's heavy, Penny asked. Yes, it's. There's something pressing down on her, bending the flame. All right. I'm going to try and go further, now, David said. Okay, Penny said. David then expanded his reach and found a flame. I can't believe this. I found Titania, David exclaimed. You did? Penny asked. Yes. Yes, it's her, no doubt. The flame is thornier, so wild. Her aura is weak. Much weaker than me or you, David said. Oh. Maybe, I mean, if warmth is indicative of the distance, then the strength, Penny said. She's hurt. Or at least, her aura is not full. But she's alive. Titania is alive, David said. Thank goodness. That means we can still save her. What about Penny asked. I'm looking, David said. What? What is this, David asked. David, Penny asked. I found Evelyn, but her aura is, David said. Is she hurt? More than Titania, Penny asked. No, her aura is strong, but it's split, David said. Bob's semblance, Penny said. Yes. I can't feel Evelyn's cheerfulness anywhere, but one side is creepy, distorted. And another is cold, like stone, David said. Which is Evelyn's real aura? And who's stronger, Penny asked. I can't tell. They seem to be pretty even right now, David said. What about Izuku, Penny asked. I'm looking. Man, he's a lot further away, David said. How far, Penny asked. Very far. I can barely feel any warmth from him, David said. How's its strength, Penny asked. It's a bit weird. It's like there's two flames. One is split like Evelyn's. It's split into 5 sections, David said. 5. That means he's unlocked another quirk, giving him access to their aura, Penny said. Seems so. The other one is not split and is behind the first. I can't feel any warmth coming from it, David said. That must be the aura of the past users of One for All, Penny said. David then noticed that the first flame appeared to be shrinking. He's in a fight and using a lot of aura. The first flame is shrinking, David panicked. Calm down, David. He'll be fine. There's nothing that he can't handle, and remember, he never had aura to begin with. There's nothing to fear. Even if he runs out of aura, he'll be in way less danger than the others. Let's focus on Evelyn, Penny said. All right, David said. Thursday. Day 123. How's everyone feeling, Jack asked. Operative, Penny said. I'm ready, Seal said. Calm, Arslan said. I'm so excited. Can't wait to go into battle. Totally not nervous, guys, Reese said. May said. How long till we get there, David asked. T-15 minutes. You ready, partner, Jack asked. Yes. But I'll take a bathroom break, David said. You know what? I think I'll do the same. For maximum efficiency, Reese said. Want me to come hold your hair, Arslan asked. Would. Hey, Reese yelled. The three then headed out. As David made his way down the hall, he focused on his objective. Eek. You gross, a female voice shrieked. What the? Who are you, Arslan asked. Why are you puking on me, the girl yelled. Why were you Hido blower, Reese said, throwing up. No. Not Kazent Rose, the girl yelled. David recognized her voice. Ruby then came running out. My poor baby. Honestly, who pukes on other people's weapons, Ruby asked. Ruby, David said. Oh, hi, boyfriend, Ruby said. Don't hi me. What are you doing here, David asked. I'm here to help, of course. Da, Ruby said. But how do you even know? David asked. I happened to overhear you and Penny talking in the gardens. And I also happened to overhear, Ruby said. So we have a stowaway, Ironwood said. Oh. Hi there, Mr. Ironwood, sir. I'm here to help, Ruby said. Except you weren't invited, Miss Rose, Ironwood said. And this is the one person Ozpin would never want involved in anything like this, Ironwood thought. I know that, but, David and the others, they're my friends. And Evelyn is in trouble, and you had so little time. You need all the help you can get. And I couldn't just wait around to ask for permission, Ruby said. I'm familiar enough with your exploits to know that trying to contain you would actually bring more trouble than it would be worth, Miss Rose. So welcome to the strike team, Ironwood said. All right, Ruby said. But you're going to obey your group and team leader at all times. Do anything at all to endanger this mission or the lives of anyone else, and I will make personally sure you never see beacon or a weapon as long as you live, Miss Rose, Ozpin be damned. Am I clear? Ironwood asked. Yes, sir, Ruby said. Report to your group leader right this instant, Miss Rose, Ironwood said. Will do, Ruby said. Ironwood then left. That guy is intense, Ruby said. Yeah. But I get where he's coming from. Come on, I bet Penny will be delighted to have you with us, David said. David and Ruby then went back to the team. So it's also a gun, Ruby said. I understand that, Ruby. Thank. And I already know where to place you. You're going to join Seal and May on the sniping team, Jack said. What? But that means I will be away from the action, Ruby said. Oh, we'll see plenty of action just to get to our perch, Seal said. Well, yes, but I mean, can't I go with Penny and David? They sound like they have the hardest job, Ruby said. They probably do. Which is why ours is the most important job, May said. Ruby said. Our duty will be to take out flyers and thin out any resistance before they get in contact with the assault and rescue team. I understand your grievances. Believe me, I do. But that's the lot of a sniper. To protect teammates, we have to be away from them, May said. I didn't think about it like that, Ruby said. Because you've never been an actual sniper before. It's fine, May said. Could you give me a few tips, Ruby asked. Sure. Come with me, May said. May and Ruby then walked off. Well, she's good, David said. Indeed. She seems to have a certain older sister aura to her, doesn't she, Penny said. She's most efficient. As expected from someone chosen to be paired up with me. Good choice, group leader Seal said. Hey. Thanks, Jack said. On that note. Are you sure you'll be alright, Seal asked. Jack said. One of your teammates doesn't seem, Seal said. I probably shouldn't have eaten that much, Reese said. Obviously, Arslan said. All there, Seal said. Who, Reese, Jack asked. Sorry, Reese said. You don't have to apologize. Nor do you have to put up such a strong in front of me, Arslan said. It's not that. I just thought, better store up on energy, you know. But I didn't think I'd get this nervous. People's lives depend on us. I guess it only just dawned on me, Reese said. Pretty different from the usual fare of missions Headmaster Leo gives us, Arslan said. Yeah. I can feel the responsibility, It's heavy, Reese said. Too heavy for you, Arslan asked. Maybe, but not too heavy for us. And worst case scenario, we squish some Grim with it, Reese said. She's going to be fine. I've spoken at length with both her and Arslan and I can vouch for their experience. They're representatives for Haven Academy and Orphans. You don't get more qualified for fighting Grim than that, Jack said. Speaking of which, I wanted to ask, partner. What exactly are the orphans? I mean, I have an inkling based on what you told me about your relationship with the headmaster, but David said. Long story short. We're a group of kids who were recruited by Ozpin and the other headmasters of the 4 major academies of Remnant. We all have something we need help with, like my family situation. In exchange for being trained to do their grunt and wet work, and actually doing it, we get that help, Jack said. Then. Does that mean, David asked. An alarm then went off. Never mind. You'll tell me about it when we go back, David said. That's the landing signal coming in from the corridor, Penny said. Seal, get your team. I'm getting Arslan and Reese. This is it, everyone. We're going in, Jack said. The group then landed in the Barito forest. As previously scanned, there's an abundance of flyers grim swarming around the forest. The ship can't stay stationary lest we become overwhelmed. We will circle the forest continuously and try to take out as many flyers as we can. The bait probes we've deployed to let you land won't work for much longer, so. Good luck, Ironwood said. Be safe, everyone. Godspeed, Enrico said. Thanks, General. Professor. This is where the biggest piece of the transport crashed. How's it looking, Jack asked. Inconclusive. No bodies, no signs of struggle, no hints of recent human presence, Seal said. It's safe to say that none of the people in the transport dropped with it, Penny said. There are traces of Grim. But they are fresher than the landing, May said. So? They could have landed anywhere around us. Partner, Jack asked. The closest is Titania. I can feel her, Evelyn and Ijuku, but Titania is definitely the closest one to us. She's a bit further north. Ijuku, however, is east of our position, though he's much further out than both Titania and Evelyn. He's also on the move and moving fast, David said. Well. That's a useful semblance, Reese said. Alright. Then, let's begin operations. Sniping team, you're up first. We move once you've reached your perch. Good luck, Jack said. We'll be super duper fast, Ruby said. I'd prefer if we were just effective, Ruby May said. Oh. Of course, Ruby said. Let's go, then. Our objective is the top of that hill, Seal said. Good luck. Don't you dare die on me, Jack said. The sniping team then began to make their way up the hill to their perch. Are you alright, Ruby? Do we need to slow down, May asked. No, I'm fine. I'm just worried, Ruby said. About screwing up, May asked. Yeah. I've never done anything like this before, Ruby said. I figured, May said. I've never been a sniper, I've never been in such a large group with such a precise plan. And I've never had to, you know. Save people, Ruby said. I'm sure you and your teammates have helped each other plenty, in the past, May said. Well, yes, but we've never had to go somewhere just to. I mean, I never had to save anyone, and just that. Like. It doesn't matter how many Grim we kill or how much ass we kick if we can't save them. This is the first time where just fighting doesn't save the day, for me, Ruby said. The first time? Really, Seal asked. Ha, Ruby said. You want to become a hunter, don't you? Then you should know, Seal said. The three then heard the sounds of a Walang approaching. Never mind that. You're in luck, Miss Rose, Seal said. A Walang was now stood before them. Feel free to fight at your heart's content, Seal said. Don't mind if I do, Ruby said. The three then fought the Walang. May stood in the back sniping, Ruby both got up close and shot from far away. Seal lured the Walang into attacking her, thus setting off mines she had placed. Soon enough the Walang was killed. And stay down, Ruby said. Good job, Ruby, but don't let your guard down, May said. Another Walang then appeared before them. Looks like it had a friend. Let's continue. The three soon made short work of the Walang. Sniper team, come in. We've heard the sounds of fighting, Jack said over comms. We're fine, group leader. We came upon two Grim who didn't wander towards the lures dropped by the airship. Just a couple of Walangs. We dispatched them with ease, Seal said. A couple. Oh my. Remember when we fought the one during our initiation? David Penny asked. Do I? Almost lost my head to it, David said. Really now? Guess you're lucky you have us as guardian angels on this mission, then. We're continuing towards the perch. We're almost there, Seal said. Keep in touch, Jack said. The three then continued up towards the perch. Group leader, this is Sniper team. We've reached the perch, Seal said. Great job, Sniper team. How long till you're in position, Jack asked. Few minutes. Start preparing to head out, Seal said. The three then started to get into position. I'll start setting up the defensive perimeter, then. Once you're both in place, please contact the group leader, May, Seal said. I'm ready. Ruby May asked. Just a moment more. Huff, Ruby said. Ruby then climbed further up the tree. Here I am. Wow, that was a difficult climb, Ruby said. You could have climbed with your weapon in a portable size, May said. Well, you didn't, Ruby said. Heh, yes. But that's because my weapon doesn't transform, May said. Oh. You mean it's, Ruby asked. Only a rifle, yes, May said. So. This is it, now. We just wait, Ruby asked. For now. Then we stay alert at all times, May said. Because they count on us to protect them. But how much help can we be from this distance, Ruby asked. With the bullets provided by Mr. Polendona. Plenty. Are you ready, Ruby? To wait. To watch. To shoot and nothing else, May asked. I'm ready, Ruby said. All right. I'm giving the signal. Group leader, this is Sniper team. We're done, May said. Roger that, good job. We're heading out, Jack said. We'll be seeing you later, then Penny said. Yes. Good luck, Jack said. Good luck. You're going to be the ones with the most dangerous job, David said. Heh, yeah, Jack said. Worry about finding the other guys and leave your almighty leader to us. We're going to turn this forest upside down, Reese said. We'll trust you on that, Reese. But take care of yourself, too, David said. Sadly. That's always been my job, Arslan said. And you've always done a bag-up job, ah. And I am trying to change, Reese said. And I appreciate it, Reese Arslan said. All right. Again, good luck. Be careful and... David, Jack said. Yeah, David said. Bring her back, Jack said. The assault team then lead the way into the Barito forest. Coast is clear. Come on, Reese said. Do you regret it, Arslan asked. Excuse me, Jack asked. The freedom you allow your teammates. Do you regret it, Arslan asked. No. But I want to, Jack said. I figured, Arslan said. Coast is clear. Just a little more, Reese said. As a leader, smothering them is counterproductive. There's no way we're always going to be able to face everything coming our way together. Like at the moment. Splitting up will happen, whether I like it or not. And yet, considering the stuff we keep having to face, and everything that keeps happening to us, I would love nothing more than to do as Headmaster Ozpin says. Hide somewhere, stop sticking our necks out and letting the adults protect us and deal with things, one at a time, Jack said. Accept your troubles and enemies aren't gracious enough to do things at the Headmaster's pace, Arslan said. Yeah, Jack said. How? Coast is not clear, Reese said. We can talk more about this later. What's out there? Rest, Jack asked. A bunch of wolves around one of the lures. Seems like it didn't drop where it was supposed to, Reese said. Doesn't sound too problematic, Arslan said. They are wolves, yes. But still, in Baratogrim tend to be stronger than their normal counterparts. Since they don't go looking for humans, they just survive, and grow older and more powerful. Let's go. Pace yourselves but do not hold back, Jack said. The assault team then dealt with the pack of wolves until there were only 2 left. Jack then froze the 2 wolves. Allow me, Arslan said. Arslan shattered the frozen grim. Well. Brutal. Did you see the way those limbs bounced away before dissipating? Awesome, Reese said. If you say so. But don't get too excited. Now. Time for the hard part, Jack said. The assault team then continued forward. Over there, hiding among the tree line. I can locate her even with my normal senses, Penny said. And Evelyn is close, as well. Also, Izuku has moved much closer to our position, David said. Back with the assault team. This is it. Are you ready, Jack asked. I think so, yeah. Yeah, let's do this, Reese said. We've come all this way. Everything depends on us, Arslan said. It does, doesn't it, Jack said. How should we get its attention, Arslan asked. Home. We've been walking all over without being acknowledged, as I figured, so. This sonic grenade from Mr. Polendona will do, Jack said. Plugging my ears, Reese said. Reese, just put on your earplugs, Arslan said. The assault team then put their earplugs in and then Jack set off the sonic grenade. The ground then began to shake. The Gomra then began to erupt from the ground, pulling up the ground and destroying trees as it did. The Gomra was as tall as the cliff tops around it, even in the crater that it had created where it rested. Shit. It's even bigger than I thought it'd be, isn't it, Jack thought. End of chapter 42.